Talk, baby. This is the show where it's okay to be you. We're talking from Yale to jail and from the church house to the pit house. Nothing's excluded on Shop Talk. So if you don't have a phone, I suggest you borrow one. Call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to Shop Talk with your girl, because right here, we keeps it real. Hey! There it is everywhere. Boom! Happy New Year!
Happy 224.
Is it 224?
Happy New Year!
Yes! Isn't that something?
Hey, we made it. Never would have made it
without you. He over here. He was singing last week. Last year. Feelings.
Yeah, last year.
Last year? Okay.
I'm thinking about remastering it and letting it drop on my mixtape.
Okay, I see you looking like T.D. Jakes this morning. You giving me a T.D. Jakes vibe.
That used to be a rap of mine. I can't use it no more.
Why?
And that used to work for me, but not anymore.
Not anymore? Who you going with? No. Bobby Brown? You know, they kind of favoring.
Yeah. I'm going to just let it run and see if I can do it as me.
Do it as you. I heard that. Listen, I want to give you guys... What about you, Amber D? What's happening? Amber D in the building. Let's give it up.
I actually slept for New Year's. And at first, I was like, man, this is lame. And then I said, no. I want this year to be restful for me.
Okay.
So I want to have a restful 2024. I don't want to be stressed, haggard, or anything like that. I want to spend 2024 just being rested and rejuvenated. So I slept.
Good for you. Just slept right in the new year. Did you have any goals or New Year's resolutions, Nate the Agitator?
Absolutely not. I don't want to set myself up for failure. So I say, I was up, but I was like, hey, it sounded like Beirut over here. I was in my basement. These dudes was unloading over here. I was like, whoa, that was impressive.
Was it? Bombs over Baghdad?
Man, they was throwing grenades.
But I wish I had my stuff with me. Bombs over Baghdad.
I'm talking about they was letting dynamite go. It had to be. I was like, where do y'all get all this stuff?
So wait, let me ask you this real quick before we get this show started. I'm looking at the time. So are you saying that if you set goals, you never accomplish them?
I always think with ink. I got a little Bible that I write stuff in, and I looked in it yesterday, and I accomplished a lot in 2023.
All right.
The goals that I have set wasn't made here.
Okay.
But I can't. You can't put a time limit on when God's gonna bless you.
Okay then. You better tell him, Pastor.
Well, yes. And now I'm gonna come over here and lay hands on you. Pray for you.
Nah, it's crazy. Idiot. Man, listen, we got a great show planned for you guys today. I'm on the road, so we had some technical difficulties regarding the internet services, but we here. We got there, right?
Yeah, Cornell, give us a break.
Right.
We love him for it.
Yeah, keep us on task. Shop Talk question of the week I want you guys to think about. And it's from an incident, so you're going to hear a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's from an incident that occurred where a young lady was with this, she's with her fiance or guy or whatever. I guess they have one child together. She has other children. He bought everything for her kids and her for Christmas, but all he asked for was 2 days in the hotel so he can rejuvenate for some peace and quiet time. And his girl had a problem with it. So the Shop Talk question of the week is, would you have an issue if your mate was by himself or wanted to be by himself or herself for 2 days at the hotel and you knew where they were going to be? They gave you all the information. We'll Shop Talk about it. But before we go, y'all know we're going to address the Katt Williams. So you stay with us right here on Shop Talk with Mel right here on your favorite podcast. Yes, the people wanted to know. The people wanted to know, Mel, what's your view on this? What's your view on the Katt Williams? How do you feel? Well, today's title is Untold Truths. And the reason that is, even before getting into him, isn't it interesting how untold truths allow lies and rumors to continue?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the way of the world, though.
Is it okay?
It's not okay. And that's why the saying that silence is compliance.
Saying nothing is approval.
Exactly.
I thought it was just minding my own business. But
sometimes minding your own business, got people out here just saying stuff, and it's like, wait a second. Yeah, so... Right. I got this peppermint. I'm sorry. So I said I was going to be professional this year, but y'all know how that goes.
I didn't get that memo. I didn't get that. I didn't get that memo.
That part, right? Okay, let's just jump right in. For the lovely people that the internet, we always in everybody's business. And this is the part that gets me. How are you so upset? They was arguing over the color purple. Y'all arguing over the color purple. What is it, a musical? Is it like, are we that argumentative about if it was a musical or a movie? And go ahead, what you got, Amber D?
It was a Bootsy was like the homosexual agenda. It's like, and I'm so glad that people who are more familiar and invested in the history of it or more familiar with it are like, it wasn't a secret. Like, obviously you're not familiar with the book, or even it was touched on in the first, but like that was a part of the story. So it's what people were upset about. It's just like, that's how it was wrote.
Oh, well, little Boosie. But you know what though? So a lot of people I didn't read the book. I watched the movie. I was probably about 10 when it first came out. So it was implied if you had that mindset,
right,
the way the original movie was, but you didn't know. And I can say from my perspective, when I was little watching it, I just thought she was just being nice to her. Her giving her a bath, that wasn't anything. It was like, oh, she was like that. I'm using air quotes for the listening audience. The ugly girl, and she got done wrong. Now, all the other stuff I got, like the whole mister, you sold her, da-da-da-da. But I didn't see that scene until it was brought out later and I became an adult. And then it was like, oh, wait a minute. But they didn't show everything. I didn't see this one, so I can't speak on it. But I didn't read the book either.
Right. And the thing is, like, in the book, I haven't read the book either. But in the book, people were saying that, and I knew in the book that it was much, I had heard that in the book, the book was much more explicit. But just like most things that are turned into movies, like the book is better, the book is more detailed. Mm-hmm. So people were saying, well, in the book, it's crystal clear that it was like a lesbian relationship. And also it was a lot more graphic. Like the other stuff that happened in the movie, it was like way more graphic in the book. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that was probably one of the areas where they were trying to be more accurate. And
then you were upset with Lil Boosie because he got up and left. I mean, I probably would have if I seen that.
People were saying like, okay, now you're trying to be the morality police, but you were okay with, paying sex workers to service your sons.
But it was his way. I mean, I don't think really, that's the thing. Look, that's the thing.
It's like, okay, that's where you draw the line, sir. Oh, okay.
But you know what? But for me, that's where I would draw the line. I don't care who's with who. But what do I want to see? What is my appetite? If I like salmon, don't serve me steak. I'm not going to eat it. It's going to sit there. So, I mean, come on. It's crazy how other people experiences and opinions are all subjective. But what's happening is people are wanting you to think like them. I think it's okay. So what's the problem? My favorite color is blue, if you notice, because I do wear my favorite color is blue, but your favorite color is black, and you want to tell me that I need to be wearing black. Well, my favorite color is blue. I might, if I happen to be like, okay, well, I do have a black shirt and I wear these blue jeans. But that doesn't mean that's my preference. And I should be okay to say, no, Amber D, that's a beautiful black shirt you bought me. I appreciate it, but I really would have preferred the blue. But okay, I'm not closed to it. It'll hang in the closet. But come on.
It's the remote control theory.
Go ahead.
If you don't like it, just change the channel. I ain't got to force you to watch my show. Change the channel.
And see, that's how it used to be.
Well, yeah, but everyone has an opinion now, and everybody got beer muscles behind the screen. You know how many times I threaten Amber D across this screen, but when I see her, I hide from her? But behind the screen, what you want, Amber? What? When I see on site, Amber, on site. But when I see on site, hey, Amber, what, you need a drink? You need anything? So everybody got beer muscles now, and I mean, yeah. And plus, as far as reading the book, Color Purple, I watched it once or twice. I was like, I didn't go. So, all this wouldn't affect me, but they want to force me to have an opinion on it.
And that's okay. I just looked and I just kept scrolling. I was like, everybody to each his own, like what you like, not like, don't like what you don't like. My dad don't like musicals. He would have got up and left. He's serious. I wrote a play and he sat down front and he was like, I hope this ain't no goddamn musical. So nobody is off limits, okay? To certain people.
Hey, I tried to follow in his footsteps, but we are dinosaurs. Us with solid opinion and don't care about nothing. Oh, that's absurd. You should feel this way about it.
Oh, okay. Off the hook. You wanted to talk not about the comment, right?
Oh, well, no, and I think that when you get into stuff like that, it's like, was that appropriate? Like, was it age appropriate to begin with? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's subjective, and just we're getting into the whole, like, one of the links you shared, Nate, about parenting, and like, what is appropriate for you to be exposing your child to begin with? And like the morality and what is the social norms of appropriateness.
Appropriateness is the new beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. It's in the eye of the beholder. So guess what? I do certain things with my kids or grandkids that most people don't do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool with me and it works for us. I'm like, shoot, I had a full-time job at 8. What you mean you can't cook? If you're hungry, you'll figure it out.
Right, because now that's too much. We'll be like, oh no, that child should not be by the stove and da-da-da-da.
Woodard Estates. Not here at Woodard Estates. And my my daughter knows when she leaves them here with me, hey, they come back better. Man, we do more by 5 a.m. No, I let them sleep. They ain't got school. But yeah. At the Woodard Estates, that's totally fine. Now, is the world shunning me right now because I feel that way? Do I care? bigger question.
That's it. What's that crinkling? What y'all doing over there?
They're tussling.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what's that crinkle? Like, what? Okay, the dog's fighting. The dog's arguing. They arguing about it. All right, let's get into. I just wanted to talk about that. I saw the people arguing over William Murphy and the church surfing. They were crowd surfing. Like, it was New Year's. Some people feel like street music should be in the street and church music should be in the church.
Well, I don't go to church. Right
and okay, so we got that. To each his own. Do your thing. Me personally, I'm like, well, Kirk Franklin was doing that, and he was bringing secular music in and mixing it with church music. But let's be realistic. If you knew the song, I was singing the original song.
I heard a pastor out of D.C., and they was playing go-go in the church, man, I was ready to find the pastor and send money to him. I mean, because the spirit was lifted. Because I was like, a go-go, you know that bomb go in the back. It's gonna get you there anyway. But I mean, I thought that was the idea, to lift the spirit.
It is to lift
And
the
like I said last week, church is a feelings place. So my feelings.
It's a hospital for the sick. Hospital for the sick.
Guess what? If your cut came on and you on your IV, are you still doing this? Oh, you can't help it. You can't help it.
But what you jamming to, that's the thing. And it is. But here's the thing. You have to look, you said that's why you don't go, but if it was go-go music, you go. But you have to separate. That's just my opinion personally. Separating. I mean, if you're going to do the same thing, why go?
Agitating. Aggravation mode.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead. Do it. Do it before we get this cat thing going.
I'm the same person in and out of the church. I love the Lord all the time. So I don't have to be in church to show you that I love the Lord. I just go there. It's a gas station. I drive my Chevette everywhere I go.
That was a great analogy. That's a great analogy.
You see me at the gas station. No matter what car I drive, every now and then you see me at the gas station.
Okay.
If you see me at the church, guess what? I'm still, what up, Mel? Amber, on site after the service. I'm still that dude. But I come there, get a word, get a wow, and learn a little something, and I go back out into this world. I don't switch up. I'm legit.
Well, you shouldn't switch up, because I am consistent as well. Go ahead, Amber D. What you got?
So I would say that I support Christian messaging over secular music, but not with like covers. Like if the Christian artist is making their own beat, but it's like hip hop, rap, trap, gangster rap, whatever, but it's their own beat, it's okay. Because recently I have heard, well, it wasn't recent, it was like a year ago, I heard some Christian rap, and I was like, okay, this goes hard. Okay, I support it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're really coming up with, like, their skill and everything. But the lyrics and the messaging, which I do believe matters, is Christian-based. So I support it. But when you're doing a straight cover, like, Kids Bop version, no. Because even when I listen to Kids Bop, I'd be knowing the real words, the original
That's
words.
What I'm saying. So that's what's in my head.
I support that. But absolutely, like, bringing in, like, the secular style of music, I support. But don't do a straight cover. Not a straight cover.
Because it's the way you were introduced to it. I know this from this, so I'm still stuck.
Exactly. But there are, and even then, there's secular songs where it's like, you can learn about the artist and learn that it's like a Christian message, and then when you listen to it, you're like, oh, I see, like, oh, they're just talking about God, but it's so subtle. Just like in The Color Purple, the lesbian storyline was so subtle, you couldn't even hardly pick up on it. So then, Is it effective? If your Christian message is so subtle that most people don't even realize it, are you even doing what you're intending to do?
Intending to do, or does the music catch you? Because I mean, you remember when In the Club came out, everybody was like, "Oh, that beat is hard." No matter what you did, it caught you. Now, if he was talking about your Lord, I go to the club to praise the Lord, it'll still caught you. It still got you, and
it woulda.
And it's not their responsibility to teach you anything. They just give you the message. It's your responsibility to decipher it. It's just like with the whole kids. I'm not going to protect them from anything. I'm like, hey, man, I think it was like this. Mel, you didn't hear that part in Maggot Brain when he said this? You were like, oh, okay. So now we're conversating about it, and you're going to get your interpretation out of it, and I'm going to get mine.
We're going to converse.
That's it. And at the end of the day, no one's wrong.
It's called an opinion. An opinion is what, ladies and gentlemen?
Like an ass. I mean,
subjective.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't read the prompter on that one.
You missed it. You missed it.
Subjective.
All right, so check this out. Let's slide in. Katt Williams. The topic today is Untold Truths. Now, I want to preface this by saying, how many rumors have been started because somebody was quiet? I'm just saying. Look at it. And I'm going to tell you, my inbox and my phone was blowing up. Mel, what's your thoughts? Well, I said, y'all got to tune in and see my thoughts because I'm going to break it down for you. Okay. He addressed it in true Virgo fashion. I am a Virgo, so I totally got it. And they were trying to say that, oh, he just told everything. He just this, he just that. Let me say this. If you notice, and for the people who are Katt fans, even if you're not, like I wasn't a big Katt fan. I listened, he's funny. Oh, he's funny. I give him that. But I wasn't like high off of Katt, I gotta go, da-da-da-da. But after watching that interview on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay, I have more respect for him. And I was like, boom. Now he said, here's the thing, people were so ready to tear him apart. Why is he saying it? Why is he telling all that? He didn't even have to say anything. Here's the thing. He came on the interview, and since you brought it up, let's address it. Yeah, that's what happened. These people, Bill, these people went on there that for some unknown reason, the sayers in the back, they, air quotes, have an issue, but didn't realize that Katt was chilling. These people came on the platform and said these lies. All he did was told his experience and his truth. And here's what's interesting. When more people, they get to tell their experience, i.e., let's go with Ricky Smiley, saying that was his part. And Ricky Smiley regurgitated, he volunteered that information on that interview. So y'all can check it out. Volunteered it. And he was like, that's not true. And Katt Williams said it was over 200 comedians that auditioned for that role. Which Ice Cube shouldn't have had to come in to clarify, but he did. He was like, so you telling me that I forgot what number he said, he was 200 and something. He was like, so you telling me you already had the role? Huh?
301. He was 301.
And it was like, okay, so you telling me out of all these people that auditioned for this role, they already gave it to you? And he said that he was like, how you do that? I wrote it. You know what I mean? And then Ice Cube said, well, the script was written and then they ad-lib on it. But that was the one with Ricky Smiley. Now, then you have Cedric the Entertainer. 201, thank you, Maurice, because that's what I thought I heard too. Thank you. With Cedric the Entertainer. He said, he stole my joke. Now, and Katt actually said, the only difference is he used the spaceship. That's what Katt said. He said it at the beginning. Well, Cedric never lied though. Let me tell you, if you look at the interview, when Shay addressed it with Cedric said, the time don't line up. That's all he said.
He deflected.
Yes, he deflected.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
Good job, Nate, because I was like, that's a deflection.
Yes.
He did not answer that question.
Right.
And then, did you see his rebuttal? Oh, that was 30 years ago. I don't remember. That's what he's saying right now.
Right. But watch this. So, Katt addresses it, and he was like, I wasn't going to address it, because he said, I forgave him and let it go. He was like, that was 10 years ago. It was brought up, and he had the opportunity to say it again, and he didn't. And the thing was getting credit. And a lot of people don't feel like that there's an issue and it's okay to steal somebody's stuff. And you just move on because you're the little person. Nick DeVoice, wherever she's at. Here's the thing. When you are the little person and somebody has a larger platform, they use your stuff. And when they use your stuff, everybody sees that they did it, but you know you did it first.
bigger audience.
It's a larger audience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you talk, I promise. We had a show some years ago. What I said on the show and what we talked about, verbatim, somebody who was on TV repeated everything I said verbatim. We come on Saturday, it was their Monday morning show. And Nick was there, and I said, look at this. And thank God for YouTube, because you can see, look, a timestamps on it. And I was like, oh, so you know people are watching. How did I take it? I was like, oh, okay, you watching. Not that I needed, but it wasn't a put on, it wasn't nothing. It's like, this is what people do, and it is not okay. That's why you get expelled from college for plagiarism. It's not okay. Okay, go ahead.
So I was going to mention, and I think that's the complexity of intellectual property. And I feel like particularly with like comedians, it is one of those things where it's still kind of expected to you just like take it in the chin and get over it and like let it go. And then when it comes to like the legality of it and when you have a basis to like pursue legal action is when they are profiting off of the intellectual property that they stole. So I mean, there's all kinds of laws to it, but I think for like a layman or whatever, it's hard to understand. But theft is theft, and then you're profiting off of my idea. So, the whole attitude of just like, well, just let it go, like, don't worry about it, because you're the little guy, it's still not right. And there's been cases where people have sued and it's been kept very quiet, and then the big people had to go run them their money and do a settlement, and they're still getting the credit, but hey, at least you got some money for it, out the situation. And you have to like really dig into the history of said company to find out, oh, well, that wasn't their original idea. And then the originator went and sued them, and they had to go cut them a check. But everyone knows or thinks that it's the bigger platforms, concept or whatever. So you should still pursue your options, explore your options if you feel like, your intellectual property has been stolen.
Well, I mean, one great thing that Katt did is he put everyone on notice. You can't just do this no more. Not on his watch. And that's a good thing. I mean, he has definitely changed the whole industry in that part, because you ain't gonna come for Katt. And I mean, someone else is gonna be like, well, Katt Williams did it, so I'm gonna stand up and fight for mine or say mine. So, I mean, through the storm comes change. You gotta go through it to get to it. And Katt is, going through it for what he said, but I'm telling you, there's a lot in that interview that just blew my mind. But I'm gonna tell you the most important part to me. He said, I just wanted to be God's friend. That's how he acts his life. I just want to be God's friend. I just want to be his friend. I was like, whoa, that changed my perception on everything. If we act to say, hey, listen, I just want to be God's friend and do the things that he's done off the set, dude.
Amazing.
It changes the world. Let the church say.
Amen. Hey, here's honestly the who else was it? It was Ricky Smiley. He was for Bernie Mac. He said how they did Bernie Mac. Michael Blackson and whatever, But here's what's interesting to me, and even Ludacris. Now, what he said at the beginning, or I don't know if it was at the beginning, Katt said, the hardest job in Hollywood is to pretend that the Illuminati didn't happen. And I was brought up, and I don't know if it was just me that was brought up this way, but what is it about a lie? You don't have to defend a lie. Which let me know they got on it so fast that I said, oh, they're defending the truth. What's happening? And it was addressing each thing that they said didn't happen, the untold truths. And he was like, no. And it's amazing how the people it's like the majority. So the people allows them to share their experience, but he can't share his experience. And what is wrong with him? He said, you don't have any receipts, none, on him doing hard drugs, but y'all said he was crazy. You said, come on now. And he didn't dog everybody. Now, Kevin Hart, he said what he said on Kevin. I'm like, that's what he feels.
And I can't dispute it.
Look, didn't we talk about that like a few weeks ago?
Yeah. I can't dispute it. I mean, like, he was in Philly. How did he just end up with a movie? He's up playing. I'm like, that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense. I ain't never heard no Kevin Hart with a sold out Kevin Hart with a line at any of his shows. Like,
okay, I found the mic. The mic is Amber's. Amber's mic is killing all ours. Watch this. Look, for the viewing audience, watch this. Let me see. I'm gonna mute her mic. Come on, Nate, talk. Hey.
The world is a better place.
Her mic is like, like that. That's that
Commodore 64.
That's that professional surround sound. That's that surround sound. So we'll let her talk by herself and then go that way. So just put your finger up, Amber D, when you're ready to talk, and then I'll mute ours.
And it's a new year. Take down that Christmas tree. Bah humbug.
Don't hit on my Christmas tree.
It's nice. It's actually real Christmassy over there.
You gotta talk. Okay.
Oh, me? I'm talking.
Oh, okay. That's what I was like. All right, let's talk. Let's see. So that's how I felt. And I want to know how the listening audience feels. So feel free to call in at 619-902-2287, 619-902-2287. Did you look at it as him being petty or no?
No. I'm with no. Just say I'm with Nate. Everyone.
I'm with Nate. And you listen to this. When you go back, it's so crazy because I listened to a little bit of the people addressing it. They was like, oh, that was so, the way Ricky Smiley addressed it and peaceful and this and that. I said, y'all killing me here. If it was a roast session, back in the day, we called it cracking. Nobody was off limits.
That's a felony nowadays, Mel. You can't be cracking.
You can't. Because somebody's feelings is going to get hurt.
DC. Yeah, you can't. That's a felony nowadays. You can't be cracking on me. Well, just because I'm wearing Okies don't mean that you have to tell everyone and my father doesn't have enough benefits so I can wear cotton. That's a felony. You would go to jail today if I'm cutting on your Okies or something like that.
Right. How about when Shannon Sharp said that he was like, well, you want to be blackballed again? He was like, again? What?
Again? Hey, and then when he came back and he dropped that gem, he said, listen, everyone that I put on made $300,000. They still belong to them. They didn't sign no contract. They ain't with me. I'm not trying to be the slave, the one that holds the whip. I'm trying to free him. I was like, oh.
Right.
Listen, Katt he was preaching.
He really was. And I was like, do y'all see that? Y'all looking at, he being petty. Well, that's what comedians do, don't they? Like, since when did a comedian care about what you thought and how you, what is it, Nate? How you what?
Sing with me if you know the song. C minor. Feelings. Nothing more than your feelings. I don't care about your feelings. Man. I can't. RW. I can't. I just, it's scary where the world's going. And like me, a guy that thinks like me, I'm a Neanderthal.
Keep that.
I have to. I can't. I don't know what on 52 years of this. I don't know how to turn it off.
Keep that.
Hey, I'm an agitator. Thank you, Mel, for giving me an agitating platform.
It's crazy. Here's the thing, though. I feel like these people made it, and I'm using air quotes for the listeners. These people made it. He actually stated it. They had to do what they have to do. There's things they can't say because they made it. He actually said that somebody propositioned him in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to ask that question. We're going to let Amber D. Let me go ahead and mute mine. Go ahead, girl. Let me see. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like Terry Crews, who said he was sexually assaulted in front of everyone in a huge crowd. He came out with it, and you know how that went. But like, I think that now Diddy with his orgies and stuff, I think people are like, oh, it's too crazy. Like, no, I think that's really how they get down. Like, just doing that type, so it's just like, that probably absolutely happened. And it was just normal day-to-day business in Hollywood.
Well, my 2 cents on that subject. When you reach that status, I'm not condoning it at all. But when you reach that status, what can a new woman do for you? I mean, that status and everything, that fame comes a perversion. It's sad but true. I mean, my Hucklebuck Deluxe with just you, and I'm a billionaire or a millionaire, and I got everyone, that power, you have to be super grounded, or you have to be a cat to just, put your foot down and not fall for the temptation, because at that point, I mean, I'm bored with whatever it is the norm, and I can afford to get other stuff other than the norm.
You going to the back door?
We're talking about it from a minimum wage.
Oh, you going to the back door? Now you like, let me try the back door. Is that what we're saying here? Oh.
It depends on how she looks.
Oh, okay.
I said it. You heard it here.
Go ahead.
So, hey, I was listening to George Duke. The song Dookie Stick came on, and I didn't know what it meant. So...
Go ahead, Amber.
So I think that as far as what Nate is touching on, becoming desensitized and like being or reaching satiety with like particular sex acts. So then you have to go more extreme. I wanted to just throw in there that, I read somewhere that people were saying that all of the like famous people in Hollywood are sexually fluid. Or at least at minimum, the absolute minimum, they're sexually fluid. Because you got to do things to get to that level. So I was just like, makes sense. Makes sense to me.
Well, I'm here to tell you live here, when we blow up to that status, it's not happening. It's still tight, dog. It's hard coming out, let alone trying to go in.
A mess. A straight up mess. But I like the fact that he addressed it. And the part that I don't like is that the people that's being snowed by the majority. And that's what's happening. It's like, okay, if these 4 people said it, it must be true. And it's not. It's not. And that's how rumors spread by the majority, and people believe it. And no one ever asked that person, hey, is this true or not? Me, in true Virgo fashion, that's why I said it. You start a rumor, I'm not addressing that. I'll be like, because guess what? The only people that I'm going to address it with is the people that matter to me. If I don't know you, I'm not going out trying to defend a lie. I can't. Just as he said, I don't know why liars lie. So I can't defend that. Why waste my time or energy? Now, if you respect me enough to come and be like, hey, da-da-da-da. Because there's been some things said, and I know that I haven't said it. Back in the day, I'd be like, oh, but if you want to be upset, that's your energy wasted. And then when you come and be like, oh my gosh, I thought you said, I said, you never asked.
Well, I mean, here's one thing I really like about it, that he spoke against the powers that be.
Uh-huh.
And the powers that be could have fought back or might still, but everyone, the common man, Facebook, went and found his receipts, posted his receipts. So it's like the jailers are helping him, as opposed, well, not the jailers, but I mean the common folk.
The commoners.
The commoners are stepping up and like, well, he's right, Katt's right. So if the 4 guys, or Steve and his conglomerate, those guys he talked about, was to say anything, we let everybody else look at him like, and it's gonna help. It's gonna hurt their ticket sales, dude.
Well, it already hurting Cedric's because I wasn't really into said anyway like that. But what about the one dude? I can't think of his name. Remember, Katt called him, said, "Man, I'm gonna kill him. He done took my stole my joke." And then the dude was like, "Well, hey, he gonna put you on, blah 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 blah." And then he was like, "Well, I'm glad you feel that way because he doing yours as we speak
right now." And
then they clipped it. Did you see how they clipped?
You like, oh man, said,
And he said he don't write. He don't write. So you have that copycat syndrome, and then you have people saying, well, that's what happens in the industry. But does it make it right?
No. But I mean, the industry's not right. So it's right for the industry.
You know what my problem is with that? This is my problem. You want to give somebody else a pass and say, oh, it's okay. It's okay. If everybody did that and you just sit there and just go along to get, you're losing. This is that. What is that? Hurt people? I don't believe in that. Let me tell you that I don't like it. I don't like it because and that's like the past now. Oh, well, they were hurt. So hurt people. Baby, listen, every single one of us have been hurt. And if we hurt people because we've been hurt, we'll be walking around, just walking past people, everybody slapping everybody. Because hurt people.
If that's you allow that excuse to go, you're going to allow it to go. But if you're driving my car, you follow my rule. You're not smoking in my car, Mel. Put that weed down, Amber D, and quit doing lines into my back seat, Amber D. This is my car, my rules. So
just an example, people. Go ahead. We got to put that out there.
But what I'm saying is, the industry, that's their car, that's their vehicle. And we sitting there on the sideline as they walking by talking about, oh, that's wrong, and this, that, and other, and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. It's an unpleasant truth. It happens. I mean, and we sit here, that's bad, that's immoral. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, guess what? You chose to jump in that car. So, I mean, the responsibility is on them. But, like I said, Katt exposed it. He told the truth, and he preached. I ain't gonna say. I'm gonna say it. It's like a Democrat. I'm gonna come every 4 years and give y'all free phones, and we all, yeah, that's right, Katt, that's right, yeah, free phones. I'm voting for you. It's the same thing. Sad but true.
Now, I want to hear from Amber.
So I just want to say thank God for the great equalizer of smartphones and the internet. Because now you can, as long as you have a smartphone, you can make your own movie. You can make your own short. You can build your own brand. You can go viral. You know what I'm saying? If that's your passion, without the approval, without having to get into the industry's car and yes, abide by their rules. So, and this is actually, this is like the LGBTQIA community and like Hollywood, like that's something that's been like discussed and exposed now, I guess, and like the agenda. And is it really agenda if you're trying to diffuse your own personal beliefs and your lifestyle into your artwork or into the product you're producing? Like, is that actually wrong if that they were living this life privately? And so the motion pictures and TV that they were producing, they wanted to like low key put that into their product. And the same thing actually is in the fashion industry that people don't talk about a lot. But with the, like, why are supermodels like wayfish and basically built like prepubescent boys? Why is that considered ideal? Right. It's an entire industry. And then, similar to the internet, here comes these fast fashion lines like Fashion Nova, who also stole creative works and intellectual property. Where it's like, no, a mature woman is not built like a prepubescent boy.
You're right. You're right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Nate.
Being a photographer and working with that prepubescent boy model that you speak of, the reason they pick those skinny girls is because they're hangers. All of them show the bone. It's not about them. It's about the clothes. They're walking hangers. So that's why. Because they don't want you looking at a big butt, nice boobs. They just want a hanger walking down with their clothes.
Oh, they know they can't sell them that. Like, I can't sell you this big booty.
Right.
But go around the corner, you get it.
Now they can. But that is the reason why they take them anorexic girls. If you notice their collarbone is showing and stuff like that, they are walking hangers. You know, that's that education I got. See what I'm saying? Because I be out in these streets.
Okay, be out in the streets. Let's get to the Shop Talk question of the week. And yeah, let's just get to that. And I know it'll go. We'll still communicate on that. So I'm listening to you guys and I'm watching you guys in the chat. Okay, I'm going to get this one. Mark Curry, what is it? Steve Harvey allegedly stole jokes from Mark Curry and Bernie Mac. Hey. Go ahead, Amber D.
Okay, so maybe I was very young at the time, but I was blown away when apparently Steve Harvey, when he was on his TV show, it was a wig. I was like, it's super crisp hairline? What's fake? I didn't believe it. I was shook, but I was like, it was too perfect. I should have known.
And wait, how you like the fact that they got mad because he called him out and said it was a unit? His ain't no brother's line that crisp. But he's a comedian. And did y'all forget their profession? They become so Hollywood, air quotes, that they forgot they were comedians. And it's like, wait a minute. And interesting enough, you got Dave Chappelle, Katt Williams, Martin Lawrence. They called them all crazy. And that's where they was trying to go with that. If you don't agree with what's happening, that's what I see. They call you crazy. Even Monique. They tried to call her crazy. If you don't go along to get along, you're considered crazy and we'll make the world think that you're crazy. What's interesting is that they thought they had that much power. Well, at one point they probably did. But now we, the people, are woke. That it's like, no, they're not crazy. So Taraji P, she comes out and is talking about how there's issues or disparity with the monies. Well, Monique said it, but then they said, well, it was her delivery. How am I supposed to present this on a platter? I am who I am. I'm not getting paid what I'm worth, and I need to get paid. Why does she have to cater to their, what, Nate?
Feelings. I need a buzzer so I can hit the feelings.
Go ahead. I need to record it. Go ahead, Amber D.
Everyone download that song and give me credit.
Go ahead, Amber D.
So when you're, just to tie it back to when you're talking about, like in true Virgo fashion, but a lot of times when someone is just letting it all out, the delivery is often quite ugly. But that doesn't change the fact that it's the truth, you know? So it's just like, when people talk about, oh, it was the delivery, and you can acknowledge having poor delivery, but it's often used as a deflection of addressing the actual issue. And that's because more than likely that ugly delivery was the truth.
Go ahead.
Do you know what an ugly delivery is from a man? It's him crying. He ain't gonna physically cry, but he yells. That's how men cry. That's how we show feeling. Because if I'm with Mel and she says something that hurts my feelings, I'm gonna yell or whatever to get my point across because she owns my heart. Now, if you told me the same thing, Amber D, and I'm not your man or nothing like that, I don't care about it. I'll tell you like this. You know what, Amber? I don't care what you think. But Mel, I'm gonna be like, but no, listen, you ain't listening to me. That's me crying. So when a person is yelling, especially a man, he's crying, he's talking from his heart. Because we ain't gonna sit here like, y'all, and then they told me they wanted to touch my pee-pee hole. We don't do it that way. So it's the interpretation. And the interpretation is, when you hear a man boisterous, he feels it, it's his truth, and he's crying out. But you look at it as, we're just being mean, this, that, and other. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. I'm going to listen. Mel, God, wait, Mel, listen. I'm telling you, blah, 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 blah. And y'all looking at it like, oh. But he's actually crying.
Well, here's the thing. You'd have people that were trying to say that Katt Williams was crying. I don't think so. Being petty. No, he was telling his truths and his experiences. And why do you want to shut down somebody else's experience? But this person is allowed to share their experiences. And just what we got here, hold on. The comment, it says, you can't make waves and be successful in certain places to have a great career. You have to go with the flow. And that's why I have more respect for Katt, because he's like, I'm not going with the flow. And for those of you who may not know, he funds his own projects. And listen, the media isn't there to see all that he does for other people, the philanthropy work that he does. Like he's not putting that out there. When he did that interview, and if you look at it, you don't find him on many interviews. And so when he speaks, you're going to pay attention. Know your worth. And what you were saying, like that's a man, he's speaking from his heart. That's a real comedian who actually put in the work. You heard him say, you can't juice and then come in the gym with that body. We worked for this, and you want to just be like, boom. That's when he was calling Katt, what's his name? Katt, Kevin Hart,
right.
A plant.
A plant, yeah.
Yeah,
but
so it's like...
You're right. He's not...
Fat facing, though. Man, yeah. I was hollering. He's like, you's a fat facing liar. I said, I'm done.
You gonna make me lose my point. Katt's not... He can say what he wants. He doesn't have Red Bull or somebody behind him. He ain't got to worry about it. He is his own brand. And like he said, they thought he was stupid for putting up his own money. No. He's his own man, and he makes his own money. It all comes to him, but he puts in the work. So, I mean, with just that being said, hey, you deserve the money. You your own man. It's hard to stand up there on your own. You know what I mean? But we got to pray for him because, everybody's gunning for him now.
But guess what? Everybody was gunning for him. Remember, they canceled him. So what they worried about? Don't nobody believe him. What they worried about? You don't trust him. Hey, he said what he said. He was like...
Next tour sold out.
You know it's going to be. Because guess what? I'm going again. I'm going. I keep going because it be funny. And, he's so animated. I like that part about him. So, yes, it's going to be sold out. And I'm rooting for him 110%. And guess what he said? Who he follow? He followed Christ, and he said, they made that clear. He said, God. He said, all these evils out here, like, I don't got nothing to do with that. Like, it's us and them. Go ahead, Amber. I got you. I'm going to do my part.
Oh, wait. So just the last thing when you talked about his philanthropic work, first thing that came to my mind was in comparison, the whole thing with Oprah Winfrey and The Rock when the Hawaii wildfires took place, coming online, begging us poor common folk to donate money. Like, aren't y'all sitting on a couple billion? Like, why are you asking us for money? And then you had the Hawaiian people talking about how Oprah was seeing her buying all the land up, and they were saying that it was a planned fire. So again, another scenario where, like, thank goodness for the internet and the common folk being able to speak up for themselves, and also the Hawaiian people to share their perspective. They're literally way out on an island in the middle of the ocean, but still able to connect to us, land dwellers, and say, hey, this is what's really going on right now, and this is what we think is happening. But, she's done so much, charity work or whatever, and it's just like, questionable questions.
Her charity work is pretty much tax write-off. She has to spend that money. So, I mean, I'm not saying her heart ain't in it and stuff like that, but, her picture, her is starting to really not shine. We're finding out it's cubic. It's not diamond. It's a cubic.
Also, the Epstein list, and how that's gonna unfold when they finally start, when, a couple of names have been released, but I think maybe just a day or two ago, the whole list was made public. So, yeah.
So the list is out there, and I'm like, where the list?
Mel. Get the list.
Where the list? We ain't forgot. I didn't forget because I was sitting there like, oh, okay. You're like, okay, let's occupy them with this. But that you occupied a certain community with the Katt Williams stuff.
Right.
Where's the list? We want to see the list. I also talked about, I was talking about how Katt talked about Michael Jackson. He was like, man, they killed that man. That's why they blackballed him. Then we talked about Weinstein. He was like, that's when it was like done. But everybody that he spoke about, it ended up, there you have it.
And we have it. He has receipts.
The end.
You can't argue with a man with receipts.
You cannot. So, back to the shop talk. Look, back to what I was talking about. The shop talk question of the week. So, in this scenario, the lady has her dude, like I said at the top of the show, if you're just joining in, let me just go with the question. Are you okay with your mate wanting to go to spend some quiet time alone and go to the hotel by himself away from home? Now, she did say, me and the kids can go to my mother's house and you can have the house to yourself. What's your thoughts, Nate? Let's go there first.
First, before I deliberate, I'm going to need some more. So you said that she had other kids. He came on. But
it's children in the house. They have a child together, obviously, because
they have one together and she has other children. Mm-hmm. And he did for all the kids equally.
Mm-hmm.
He deserved this space alone, right there. Now, her offering the house and stuff like that, I don't know his motives or reasons, but he took care of his business. If he made Christmas for her kids, and theirs, that's a grown man move.
He said that he just that was his gift to himself. He needed some peace.
I'm pretty sure that gift to himself was better than what he got from the wife and the kids. But I can't argue with him. And you know what she's in? Me. People, type what she's in the thing. Never mind, I'll say her feeling. That's all it is. It's her feeling.
Well, she allegedly wants to call off. She was like, well, forget it. We don't need to get married.
Okay, run, dude. Run. Because she won't find another one of him. He can find another one of her. I said it.
You did.
So I have questions too. Was the 2-day solitude time, was that like during a holiday? Was it just like, oh, okay. Okay, again, unless there's other things that she's concerned about, I feel like there's other things that like would make her think like he's doing something nefarious at the hotel.
You wouldn't tell her.
I think that she's in her feelings. Now, it could be there's other issues that's coming together to make her feel like, okay, this is the straw that broke the camel's back, right? But if there ain't no other straws, then yeah, she's in her feelings. But we don't know that.
Let's flip the script, Amber. You want a spa weekend. Let's just flip the script.
Exactly. I already told you how I brought in 2024, so I'm like, yeah, I get it. But but like I said, but there may be other things, in addition to this, where it was like I said, it was just the last straw, and so she called it off. But if not, then yeah, it's in her feelings, not making a great choice by calling off the wedding.
I'm an opponent of, I don't know these people, but I'm telling him, run. If she's that petty and you can't do nothing, all about her feelings, everything in this story is about her.
I recently learned that I can't even remember what it's called, but basically when someone responds, it's like an overcorrection, but that's not the correct terminology. But basically, you're in a situation where someone's like being petty, right? And so they respond, right? But it's excessive. Like that excessive response is like there's like a terminology, there's a psychology terminology for it. And it's definitely something you need to work on. Like, that's not a good quality. It's not a good practice. It's not good behavior. When you're over correcting, right? You know, but I can't even think of it, but whatever.
That's what I'm like. There we go with that thing. My thing, I'm with Nate. Run.
Peace. If your peace is gonna block, I need 2 days of peace. Hey, listen, I need to get a hotel room. Blah blah blah. I'm telling you this. Ain't no dude gonna be like, yeah, I'm getting a hotel room, and then have another broad up in there. Come on.
And see, that's where the problem is for me. I was reading it and I said, sounds like you don't trust him. That's one. Or two, are you afraid of him getting peace where he realizes that he's the catcher and you're not?
He better run. He already got a kid with her, so he gonna be around. And this dude done stuff for the other kids and her. Yeah. Tell her good luck finding another one.
And I think that, Mel, your two questions are centered on her and her feelings. And so, you know, it's projection, and she's having issues within herself that she needs to work on.
Listen, Amber, I'm here. I was hired in to fight and argue with you. I can't on this one. I'm totally with Amber D on that.
And, you know, and it's not to bash her, because everyone has shortcomings. Everyone has struggles. And in serendipitous fashion, which happens a lot when people post online, she might have not got the response she was anticipating. And it's like, okay, maybe I do need to reflect. Okay, maybe this is my issue and not his issue. Maybe there's something that I need to work on. So hopefully through it all, it's going to end in a better situation for all parties involved. The kiddos, the guy, the woman. Hopefully she'll address her trust issues. She'll address these other things so they can have a healthy connection, because that's a good man, especially if he's raising them kids. And, you know, don't let him get away if he's a good dude, you know. So hopefully it'll work out for her, and she'll realize, like, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah.
All right, I got to go to the comment, and I like it. Or maybe Cornell Stevens on Facebook said, or maybe she done something wrong and she think he's going to do something wrong. That could be it as well. Now, she did give options. Here's the thing. On social media, a lot of people agreed with her. Like, why does he want to be in the hotel by himself? And somebody, I did my reply. I was like, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Because they're regrouping, getting peace. Like, I'm working with you, but this is what I need. And see, that's why they created the man cave. But the problem is, clearly he don't have one, or it's disrupted. And they knocking on the door. And then she says, we'll go over my mother's place. Now, me and the kids will go to my mother's place. That's a problem for me, because it shows her insecurities. That's just me on the outside looking in. It shows her insecurities, like, you want to be at the house, so you clearly don't trust me. You think I'm going to bring somebody else in, and that's not the case. And when you are at home, and if she said, I'm just hypothetically speaking, hey, can you fix this door? Can you fix this window? His mind is not at rest, because if he's there and the children and her are over her mother's house, guess what? Oh, they forgot their shoes. Oh, they forgot their outfit for church. So you got to come in and out, and you're disrupted. Or you're going to be like looking at the windows like, man, she asked me to fix that window, so I never get my time because I'm here by myself fixing things. Go ahead.
So as far as the man cave, like, because again, we don't know if he has a man cave or not, but that's a great example. And this applies to men, women, doesn't matter, all adults and children, not respecting boundaries. So you're like, okay, I'm going to my man cave. I need some me time, leave me alone from 8 to 10 p.m. And then you got little ones running in and out. Then you got her coming in. It's like, A, you're not respecting the boundaries. B, you're teaching the children not to respect boundaries.
What woman respects the man cave code? My eye retina scan, somehow my wife gets around that. I'm like, how'd you get down here uninvited? And I keep it dirty, so it's dirty. Don't come down here. Oh no, it's where I want to be, and it's where my peace is. So women don't respect the man cave code. They don't. They just want to be up under you, changing stuff. Why is it so dark down here? Let's turn on this light. Why is the TV so loud? Let's turn down the TV. Hold me, hold me. Kiss me like you mean it. Why are you watching baseball? No, leave me alone. Go to the hotel. Just go to the hotel, dude. It ain't gonna. If you in that house, it's not gonna work. Then she want to go over to her mom's house to put her mom in him out. Maybe her mom had her sneaky link coming over. Now you going over there to mess her all up. Listen, get out your feelings. Golly, a man just can't win. Remember
okay, so I thought when she volunteered the mom's house option, my thought was, oh, is she going to go run to her mom and complain and tell her all her business to gain supporters? And then, that's that bringing people into your marriage, also problematic behavior. That was my first thought. Like, she's going to, or, if I was in the man's position, oh, she's going to go to her mom's house and then go tell the mom why she's there for the weekend. And then so the mom can bash the boyfriend, basically, or like put seeds of doubt in her mind. You know what I'm saying? Or just bringing a whole other person into the union, into the mess that it already is. That was my first thought when she said, oh, we can go to mom's. Like, you don't need to go to your mom's. Like, keep her out of it. But whatever.
Well, the go to the mom's house was so that he can have the house to himself.
Right. But no.
Right. That's the intention. But the end result will be mom being more in their business. That's why I interpreted it.
Aha. I just figured it out. At my house, if I'm still here by myself, I still got to get them to cook me something. I still got to do stuff. If I'm at a hotel, I walk downstairs, it's done. My bed is made for me. I ain't got to do nothing but scratch. And all men likes to scratch. All men like to scratch. If you don't believe me, for Amber D, the guys will say I'm a scratcher in the comments.
You're a mess.
Hey, Matt, put that Al Bundy right there and just say, and scratch.
Now that you do have a point. You don't have to do anything. But see, I don't understand. It is a double standard. I don't understand how it's okay for the mother to get away. Oh, I need to take a break. I need a break from this. I need a break from that. And you always say, I need a break from the children. This is just too much. I'm stressed out. But or the mother can have, female can have a girl's night out. But if a guy has a guy's night out, there's a problem. It's so much that needs to be done. I never get time. Like, what you gonna do?
It's what I said a couple weeks ago. I said, when a man commits to a relationship, he can no longer be the man he wants. It's based all around her and her feelings. The example I used was me and Cornell. We played Madden every night down my basement. We have a couple beers, and we fart and joke every night. That's what we do. As soon as I get with Mel, Cornell, man, I got to watch a Tubi movie with Mel. She want to watch this Tubi movie. Yay! Now Mel want to go here this weekend. I got to go with her people. I got to go to church because she got to show me off because she got a man at this church. So a man can't be a man. He can't be his authentic self with any relationship.
Go ahead, Amber D.
So 2 things. I feel like one, it's an issue of trust, as Mel already pointed out. And I feel like, not to say, if you don't trust, I do feel like if you don't trust your partner, like there's something fundamentally wrong with your relationship. But on the flip side, I also feel like there's a lot of untrustworthy men. So it's just like, why even be in a relationship if you can't trust them? Number 2, as far as what he was saying, like, oh, you can't be the man you want to be. Well, that's part of being in partnership, not with a woman, but with another human being. Like that's an adjustment that you make. And this to me sounds a whole lot like homosocialism in men, where they're sexually attracted to women, but outside of sex, they want nothing to do with women. And they have respect and care and feelings for other men. They want to spend time with other men, but they only value a woman for a sexual for sexual gratification. That's how, and to me, that is incredibly problematic and goes back to objectifying women and not actually seeing women as human beings. Yeah, your partner should be someone you want to spend time with sometimes. And if everything your partner wants to do is a drag and a burden and an annoyance, you interpret all the things you do with your partner as a barrier to sex. Like, well, I gotta do this so I want to get a nut, cause like that doesn't sound healthy to me. And ladies, if you feel like your man views you that way, maybe you should like consider being single because no.
Unmute yourself.
Excuse me. That was a lot of feelings right there, Amber D. And that's cool, and that's your opinion, and that's how you run your household. But as a man in a relationship, whose feelings are more important? Mine or yours? Me and you, Amber, everyone would know that you're going to say yours. Because a lot of stuff that you care about, men don't. Remember how I said we both care at 100%. We got $100 worth of care. I break mine down into $25 increments. I care about this, I care about that, and I care about that. You care about this. That whole $100 will be spent in pennies on your end. Now, you're mad at me because I don't care the way you do. Care as much, I just don't care about as much stuff. So me saying, hey, nah, I don't care about doing that. I don't want to do that. And it's not everything, but it's a lot of things. And I'll tell you why I don't want to do that. It doesn't care. It's not facilitating your feelings. Therefore, you have a problem with it, and I'm the problem. So guess what? If you choose to live a different way, go ahead. Then me and Cordell can come play things. And do you know, if I spend $40 with a random, I wouldn't have to have this argument ever. And me and Cornell can play Madden all the time.
Okay, so I did not mention anything about funds. We're talking about quality time and spending time. In your previous example, you were talking about what you would like to spend your free time with, like what you would like to do and who you would like to spend your free time with. If your partner is not someone you'd like to spend a portion of, which is what I said, not all your time, but a portion of your time with, I think that that's a problem. And if you look at any time spent and the examples you provided with your partner as merely a barrier to sexual access, then I would think that, that's not a good foundation to have a relationship with. But there's a lot of men who have that outlook, who look at their partners that way, who are like, listen, I'm really just trying to get to the goods, and I'm willing to do X, Y, Z in order to get to the goods. But truly, my true self is I don't want to be around you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to spend time with you. I'm not going to act like that's normal. Like your partner, whether male or female, should be someone that you like to spend time with a little bit.
Okay, give me credit. One, if I'm in a relationship with you, you're covered. There's something that I'm doing for you off rip that I get no credit for. That's in part of being a man. And if I just say, hey, babe, knock yourself out, I'm good, that's frowned upon. And I can bypass all of this. We won't have this argument, Amber, if I just chose to say, I got $40, let me scroll and order a pizza. Because none of this.
That's not true. Maybe you, Nate, but a lot of these modern men are 50-50. They got, actually, the woman is the breadwinner. The woman's living in her house. The lives in her name. Okay.
Okay, it's a lot of feedback, so hold on one second. Let me get this. So go ahead, Amber, you got it.
A lot of these modern men want 50-50. or they're currently doing 50-50 with their partner. So it's the idea that, oh, I'm bringing this to the table. Or not. You're bringing what a roommate would bring to a table. So it's like, well, I could just get a roommate. Because again, fundamentally, a relationship is free will. It's your own volition. No one's forcing you to be there. No one's forcing you to be there, and no one's forcing your partner to be there. Like, you're willingly choosing this. But when men come and act like, well, I have to do this. I don't want to, but oh God. It's just like, sir, liberate yourself and quit whining.
First of all, a man controls the gatekeeper to relationships. You're the gatekeeper to sex. Now, there's other means of just getting sex if that was it. I lost my point because I read somebody said something, but I'm trying to talk long enough till it comes back. You said something that I wanted to punch you in the throat with, because you thinking, oh, 50-50, guess what? Now he has to pay the cost to be the boss. The things I find enjoyable and happy, you may not. I don't ask you to do them. It's not a problem. Hey, Amber, you want to go camping and fishing this weekend? Yeah, we're going to sit all day, 8 hours on this boat and do fishing. And you say no, guess what I'm going to say? Okay, all right, well, hey, that's where I'm going to be. But if I said no to you, oh, Lord Jesus. Well, you never...
You got a point. You have a point.
Because everything you do, Amber, is based upon your feelings of that. That's why a man should never chase a woman, because everything is her feelings. If she feels this way about this right now, she's going to act on this. And she don't play chess. It's not the bigger picture. So guess what? Me saying, hey, I want to play downstairs in the basement. Me and Cornell is playing foot. And man, bring down a sandwich. That's happy for me. That's my happy.
That's your happy. But let me say, you gotta come with another example, Nate, for real. Okay, well, and the reason I'm gonna say that is because yeah. Now you gotta think our way. You gotta bring it our way. Because if you playing Madden, that's straight up a turn off. Like how? Like for real, that's what we doing. But the boat issue. Wait, listen. But the boat issue. Listen. But the boat issue. When you said the boat issue, I agree with you 110%. Because if you say we're going to be on this boat for like 8 hours, and we be like, you ask, hey, you want to go? I don't want to go. But here's the thing, and let's be realistic here. Most women will be like, yeah, but can we do something different? Now, it's your idea. You invite us. We don't want to go. Can we do something different?
I have to alter my whole day because of you and your feelings. And listen, when a man settles down, he settles down. We just, hey, babe, we together. I'm going to be downstairs. You bring me my plate. I'm going to watch a movie. Or for the listening audience, because I can't play Mad no more, I'm going to read the Bible in private. I mean, that makes you...
Oh, you can't read it in private now, Nate. You know you can't read it in private.
I can't win. I can't.
Hey, look, the phones is going crazy. Point for Nate. Nate's right.
You guys, we settle down. You guys want to get in a relationship, and then you want to do everything. I'm like, dude, listen, I don't need to be on the streets. I don't need to go to the club. I'm with you, babe. Hey, I'm downstairs. Or, hey, let's watch Snakes on a Plane. No. Now I got to watch Christmas in July and Lifetime Channel to make you happy. But I asked you to come watch Shark Week, and no, you can't do that. I'm okay with you not doing that. But you have a problem because it hurts your... Nothing more than... No one knows why.
So, I didn't say all the time, but I'm saying I think it's good that you have some shared interests with your partner. Some. But obviously, I'm a huge advocate of personal me time and resting and doing the things that you enjoy. But there is a difference between that and saying, I don't want to be around my partner. I try to avoid my partner as much as possible. But, Nate loves to twist my words and take everything I say to the extreme. I am a moderate. I'm a huge fan of the middle road. And, you should have some activities that you can do by yourself. And there's activities you should want to do with your partner or prefer to do if it's, your schedules are compatible and you both have a shared interest. But when men, and women do it too, come on here and act like, oh my God, I have to spend time with her. Like, like that's weird. Like, why is she your partner? If you can't stand to be around her, why are you with her? You know, and then turn around and act like they're a victim when, as we all agreed, relationships are voluntary. You don't have to be with her. You don't like her. You want sex. You want sex, but you don't want to pay for sex from a sex worker. So you'll sit here and tolerate women being in a.
Wait a minute.
Because I wouldn't have to deal with that. But here it is. I didn't twist no words around. I was using an example. This is what me and Cornell like to do.
Okay.
It didn't go with your feelings, so now I didn't like to do nothing with you.
Okay.
Woman.
All right, let's move on to the next question.
After the show is on, Amber.
Shared or joint bank accounts. He doesn't want a shared bank account because why?
She might not have the goals of the household in order like he would like them. I know I did something to avoid that. You have yours, I have mine, and we have one together. Unless you just want to be doing and know what I'm bringing in.
Okay, go ahead, Amber D.
So I think that in marriage, because you're legally bound to each other, there's, especially when it comes to finances, there shouldn't be any secrets or anything, as finances is one of the leading causes of divorce in America. And I agree with Nate that setup is considered ideal. You know, yours, mine, and then ours accounts, 3 separate accounts. And that's because most people, just like faith, just like food, just like any other thing, most people have different financial knowledge and different relationship with money. So just because maybe your partner is a spender and you're a saver, right? Maybe you grew up very impoverished and they grew up middle class or wealthy. That doesn't mean you can't be together. That doesn't mean your relationship can't work, but that means you need to be cognizant of those differences and take that into consideration and make adjustments for that. But most people have like a very individualistic relationship with money. I think it's pretty rare that you're going to get with someone and you guys have managed your finances in the exact same manner.
Go ahead, Nate.
So it doesn't have to be a deal breaker, but absolutely is something that should be discussed.
Go ahead, Nate.
First of all, quit using big words like cognizant in your soliloquy of words that you're trying to say to us. This is shop talk. We don't say that.
We do it all, baby.
Now,
nothing's excluded and no one.
Don't like you agree with me, but I agree with your agreement. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, and I mean, different relationship with money. And if you ain't just trying to be nosy, hey, the joint account, the agreement is that's there in the joint account, and we're gonna work the joint account like this.
Okay.
That's the business deal. We're running a corporation here. And I am the CEO of the Grand Poobah. Yes, I said it. I was waiting for you to roll. I paused so you could roll your eyes.
Yeah. Okay, next up, the plate watcher. What's a plate watcher, Mel?
Yeah.
The plate watcher is you go on a date and the guy, you order what you want and then ask, are you going to eat all of that?
Okay.
Go ahead, Everdy.
Poor upbringing, but like when someone says, "Are you going to eat that?" my first thought is they want to eat it. You want to eat off my plate? Like, oh Lord, you're so hungry. They didn't give you enough food. But maybe they're asking, "Are you going to finish that?" Because they think maybe you think the food is nasty, or they feel like you're being wasteful by not eating it all. I don't know why. Why would you ask that? Unless you wanted to eat it.
I'll share. Here's the thing. There was a date. Went on a date, and he determines if the relationship is, or if there's going to be a second date by what she orders on the first date. If she orders a lot on the first date, he's like, oh, she eats too much, because this particular person has an issue with weight. Mind you, he's large. So I want to ask, I'm going to let you respond, Amber D, but I also want to ask Nate, is that like common practices to plate watch? Have you noticed that? Because clearly with you, it's not. All right, go ahead, guys.
No, because I'm fat. It's not a big thing. And I'm going to ask because I'm going to finish it off. But if I'm watching your plate because you ordering lobster and shrimp because you can't, it's on my dime, then I might like, oh, really? Really? I'm like, you ordering from the we smashing later side of the menu, right? And if she said, yeah, of course, I'm like, oh, knock yourself out. Throw it away if you want. But I'm not trying to impress you. Listen, true story. Years ago, I was on a date with someone. And we went to Denny's. Just, we were out, friends, went to Denny's, conversation. Yes, I'll have the lobster and the shrimp. I said, from Denny's? Okay, I didn't think nothing of it, but the aura of it, the smell of it, but she was just trying to order up. I'm like, we had Denny's. Yeah, you can get the lobster and shrimp or whatever it was. But, I mean,
they served that at Denny's?
This was 20, 30 years ago. It was something like that. But I don't know if it was lobster, but it was, the highest thing on the thing because I'm with you and you're going to pay for it and I'm worth this. I'm like,
But that might be what she ordered anyway.
I doubt it.
Oh, okay.
So three things. One, I think it's totally fine if that's his standard. And if you feel like that, if that strategy works for him, and especially if that is something important to him, and you already said that it is. If it's important to you, hey, look for it from the first date. But different things are important to different people. Number two, when you said that he's large himself, I'm like, oh my goodness, he's a hypocrite. But since like my 600-pound life and all that stuff and then learning about the dynamics and it's literally abuse of eaters with people who are morbidly obese. If you are obese and you struggle with your weight, the last thing you want to do is be around someone who's like, no, eat more. You know what I'm saying? Like you're struggling with an addiction or a food addiction, and then you're going to get with someone who's going to be like, not have the right attitude and the right spirit as you're trying to like change your life or whatever. So in that regard, yes, absolutely. Don't be with someone who is going to finish their whole plate and you're on this weight loss journey and you have your own struggles with food. Thirdly, when Nate was talking about his story of like ordering up on a date and women doing this, and I've seen that where women do this, and I'm like, yeah, just to like test or whatever. Again, whether it's the man or the woman, I think that it is not good. Like, you're not putting good energy out into the universe by testing. Like, to me, a first date is you are being your authentic self, whatever that is. And if y'all mesh and you vibe, awesome. If you don't, move on. But like, to me, when you're going into a potential connection with the spirit of testing, it's just like, I feel like it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy because you're assuming the worst. You have to assume the worst to feel like you need to test. Go eat what you want to eat. And I would think, as far as even Nate's example with the lobster at Denny's, well, what if they're like pescatarian and they prefer?
Oh God! Right. We gotta go. Look, we gotta go. Look, we're gonna go on a commercial break on that one. No. Go ahead, Nate. Unmute. Wait, let me say this.
I was about to come out swinging.
I was like, oh no, here we go with all these issues.
Look, here, I got a date for her.
Wait, let me say my point. There is an issue for me when you micromanage my plate. I am not, guess what? There's not going to be a second date on my end because you are watching what I'm eating. Sir, there is a issue. I do want to go to the comments. So Todd on Facebook said, I was just in Puerto Rico with a person that's gaining weight and out ate me. She's as good as gone. Oh God, the comments going so fast. I got to hurry up. I'm sorry. Let me pull up here. She's as good as gone, and it's not the money, it's the weight gain. And knowing she will go from a size 6 to a 26 is not acceptable for my preference. And I love the honesty. So thank you.
Todd, Puerto Ricans are known to...
But no, probably in there, but she didn't have to be a Puerto Rican. But there are men who are not attracted to bigger women. And when you get with women, when you get with them, you meet them this way and then they get comfortable and then they turn into something else and that you're not attracted to. Watch this. And then I feel bad for the fellas because it does happen. So you're supposed to just accept that. Well, this is not what I was introduced to. So you turn to something else and then she's going to talk to all her friends and you guys are the scumbags because I can't believe he leaving you because you gained weight. Huh? That's what he's attracted to. Why is it? No, but that's not body shaming to me because let me tell you something. If I'm with a dude and he fit, when I meet him, and then you want to get sloppy and lazy, I'm not attracted to you and I'm going to tell you. So what's the problem? And it is a double standard because chicks will be like, oh yeah, he was built. But if I gain some weight, then you're supposed to be catering to my what?
Ego and your feelings.
So,
nothing more. But here's my date with Amber. I'm going to take her out. I'm going to wine her. I'm going to bring flowers. I'm going to take her to wherever. Eat whatever you want, girl. Take whatever you want. I don't want to play shame because you might be a Presbyterian or a Catholic. I don't want to do none of that stuff. I want to give you everything you want. I want to walk you to your doorstep and stuff like that. And then when it's time to lay down, I'm going to give you all 4 inches.
4?
Don't judge me on that. Oh, no. We can't have standards. We can't have standards.
Wait. Why was I sitting there like that? Didn't you say 4 inches? It was like, wait, what did you just say?
Take this 4. Don't discriminate against me because I have girth issues or whatever. You can't discriminate. Quit. You're being a with-a-tarian, I don't know, something.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, we've talked about this, and y'all know how I feel. So, absolutely, in order to not be a hypocrite, if a man doesn't like a certain body size or a certain frame, that's fine, because I have my preferences too. And I'm like, this isn't going to work for me, sir. I'm sorry, right? So if you're bringing me 4 inches, it's over, right? So I can't say, like, no, you have to accept me when I don't have to accept you. That's life. Now, I will say, when it comes to, like, a relationship, not a first date, but, like, y'all in a relationship, right? You're already there. You know, people, we all age, you know, and ideally you want to age well, right? But everything's not going to sit up forever. Everything's not going to get hard forever, right? And then things happen. You might have an illness or something, right? So it's like, do you leave your partner because something happened that was completely out of their control or because they gained 5 pounds? You know, there's a big difference between gaining 5 pounds or 10 pounds and gaining 60 pounds or 80 pounds, right? And then is there a reason for it? And so it's just like, then it gets like more into the gray area, right?
But do you stay if you are unhappy? See, somebody in the family portrait isn't smiling.
Right. And I feel like that's because, again, like when you're looking at a relationship, you want to objectively look at all aspects and facets of it. You know, because maybe they're doing really great at this, but then they're lacking in that category. And it really is subjective and it's very individual as to whether or not you should stay or go. It really just depends. And then it's like, only you know how happy or how unhappy you are. But like I said, that's when you're like knee deep in a relationship, not first date. But first date, 4 inches, sir, it's over. No, sir. I'm sorry. So absolutely, if you need to reject a woman because she's big or you think she's going to get big, do
it. But I brought you flowers. I used the simp masterclass on you. Flowers. I complimented you. All of this stuff. Don't be Don't be 4-inch racist. You're 4-inch racist. I'm telling all my guys.
Listen, y'all stomach get big and it shrinks up even more.
Hey, but you got to know how to work around that tummy. And Amber, some women like it that wide.
He cracked it up.
I was talking to this girl.
Listen, we talked about this. People, you're aware of your shortcomings. Most people have some level of self-awareness. Work around your shortcomings. Don't act like they don't exist.
Go ahead, Nate.
You can't be judging me on every. You know how many excuses you gave me about looking at your plate? Well, maybe. Well, maybe. Well, wait. Well, maybe. You did the 12-inch. Yeah, that was longer than knee-deep 12-inch. You had a list. Well, maybe maybe their diabetes is working against them today. Listen, that's not my responsibility. Hey, listen, if you got all this stuff going on for you and this, that, and that, hey, just tell me you don't want to date no more. It would save me in the long run. You know why? Because I know somewhere there's a poor woman who needs just $40 to get their day, and I can bless them. I won't have to worry about none of this garbage.
No, because this is from the man's perspective. This shop talk question was so Nate. Once again, you are obsessed with women. You are obsessed because I was talking from the guy's perspective because that's how the question was posed. And so I'm like generating different options. If you guys notice, that's what I do. I like to come up multiple scenarios, multiple options. A lot of times we get information and it's very limited and we're supposed to critique it based on very limited information. So I try to be open and I try to cover as many bases.
And that is accurate. It is limited. So we just expound on it.
So what man you know that's going to sit there and think about all of that? Or is he going to lean over and say, damn, she got a nice ass. Okay, girl, go and get what you want.
Come on, man. Tell the people.
Go. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, maybe this and maybe that. I'm like, damn, she looks good. Ooh, I wanted this, that, and other. If that you want the man's perspective, I'm not speaking for all men, but most of the dudes going to be like, yeah, go give her extra gravy on that. Yeah, because I plan on giving her some extra gravy later.
A hot mess. A hot mess. That's where there's the double standard. I saw in the comments where somebody's like, well, what if she's on steroids? And it's like, what if? If was a fifth, we all be drunk. Here's the thing that I see that happens often. If we as females don't like something, it ain't happening. But if you as males don't like something, you have to give an explanation because we're not just settling for it's not happening.
And it has to be a good one, and it has to be signed. You have to notarize, Obama's signature on it, and it still might not get by. Because guess what? I'm not in tune with your feelings.
But that's hard to do because we change them so often.
When the wind blows.
Go ahead, Amber D.
Okay, so I think differently. I think that we're in this scenario, we're talking about the first date, right? A woman can do something a man doesn't like, but he'll continue to entertain her because he's pursuing, right? He's pursuing his objective with this said woman, right? And then when he's done or fed up, like he'll sever the connection or slow fade or sabotage or whatever, instead of being upfront and saying, oh, like, I'm not really feeling you, but take care. Like, a man will go silent, he'll ghost and circle back, or, he'll continue to have that particular woman as like a back burner option, while he entertains others because he's not really into that woman because she did something that he didn't like, or there's some quality or feature about her that he doesn't care for. And instead of just being upfront or just like making it a clean cut, he'll drag it out or do other things that are not upstanding. Instead of communicating directly, I'm not into you. I don't like you. Take care. Have a good life.
Okay. Which brings me to the next one. Which brings me to the next part. Is there a correct way or acceptable way to break off a relationship with a female? And this question is from a male. No, that was quick.
That's not, because then I'm gay. I told you, no, I don't like you. Amber D, I don't like you. I'm not into you. No. Now you're telling everybody I'm gay. So there's no correct way because I'm hurting your feelings.
It's irrelevant. If you don't like her, how she views you is also irrelevant. You're breaking up with her.
But
so that you cannot do things the proper way and communicate directly that you're not interested in a woman, because men are known for not doing that. And say because they was over it 6 months.
You ready? Because our objective hasn't been met. My objective was the hit. I haven't got there yet. So I'm going to let you get the free meals out of me. I'm going to let you talk to me all day long about nothing. I'm going to play the part to finish the goal. Now, if you as a woman can't see he's not into me or this, that, and other, and can't leave by yourself, how's it my fault? I come in here with a yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this. What? Oh, for real, man? Really? But you can't see that. What?
That's how you really feel?
Yeah, you gotta go one of those. That's how you really feel, man. Wow. And you sitting there and you don't see what? Man, wow.
Okay, let me go to the comments. Ronald King of California says, but why does his decision and an assessment require her approval? That's the guy's fault. If those are your standards, then stand on your standards. Okay?
Reread that. Wait a minute.
Nah,
Amber's,
you read it.
Amber's liking it, and I was liking it until Amber started liking it. Hold on.
You're like, wait, reread that. It said what it said. Cornell Stevens said it's never a correct way because it's always going to be that question. Well, am I not good enough? Or you found another woman? Or are you gay? It's going to be something because she's in her
feelings
when you call it off. All right, Amber, go ahead. Go, Amber.
Okay, so being in her feelings and the questions, the follow-up questions, men do that too. That's just human nature, right? But you're doing more damage. And this is when either you're the one, and I feel like most people have been in both positions, where you're the one who's being rejected or you're the one that's doing the rejecting, right? Getting rejected sucks. It hurts, right? That's all people, whether you're a man or a woman. But you're doing more damage by dragging that person out, whether it's spending all his money, you don't really like him, or still giving her the time of day with your half-assed answers and disinterested energy, and just saying, instead of being upstanding and saying, being an upstanding woman or being an upstanding man, and say, I don't like you like that, this isn't working for me, take care. And then as far as the follow-up questions and the clarification, you can do it if you want to, but you're totally fine not doing it. And then once again, as I already said, that you're gay then. That's obviously just a defense mechanism. Your feelings are hurt, so you're going to be called gay. So again, for you trying to use it as an excuse to validate your own poor behavior is just deflection. We already know how this plays out, right? So we already know they're going to be like, well, why? And stand 10 toes down on your standards, as the commenter was saying, and take accountability for yourself, which is, it's the guy's fault. Or woman, whoever is the rejector. Be an upstanding person.
That's unfair.
Reject them and keep it pushing.
That is unfair. Talking about whoever the rejector is. Wait. That's unfair to rejector. If you don't like something, you just don't like it. And it sounds like that the consensus is this ghosting, the new term ghosting that people are doing, is the only way to win. Because if you tell someone, hey, this isn't working, they want to know why. And then as a female, I can only speak from my perspective, as a female, my perspective, they want to know why. Well, is it something I did? And this is what we'll say. We'll say, well, I want to change that. You know, especially if you like somebody. So we are, I'm using air quotes for the listening audience, willing to change that for a moment till we grab you back in.
But you always default to factory setting.
Yes, we do. Straight back to factory setting. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with that, honestly. If you don't like someone, what happens is if they don't like you and they try to break it off and then you are changing yourself to fit in their mold, that's not the one for you. Because the end result, the only reason that they are there, they're settling. Do you really want to be with someone that's actually settling? Because then you'll be on the back burner. He kicking it with her over here. Lisa, Pamela, Renee. You know, all of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, wait a second. You settle. And then you want to know what? How the Wife Becomes the Other Woman. You can get that book on Amazon, Balboa Press, and Barnes & Noble, written by yours truly.
That sounds like a really interesting read.
It definitely is. Go ahead.
Everybody has played the simp at one point in time. Anybody, Cornell, Ronald, all these guys can say, look back in their closet, if they're honest, and say, yeah, I was kind of a simp for her. No matter what the outcome was, we wanted her. Even though I know I wouldn't be the center of her attention or the center of her world and this, that, and other, blah, blah, blah. But we went through that anyway. But guess what happens between if you went through being a simp and I went through being a simp? We both got hurt, but only one person's feelings matter. Oh, Cornell, suck it up, bro. You shouldn't have tried to get with that. I was out your league anyway, dog. You, what?
Go ahead, Amber.
So inappropriate.
Go ahead, Amber.
So, as it was saying, and as I was saying, this isn't even a gender thing because women have done the rejecting and men have done the rejecting. And it sucks either way. And as Mel pointed out, oftentimes when you like someone, you are willing to change. Whether you're a man or what. Us ladies, you've dealt with a guy who's like, I can change that. After you take the time to explain to them why you're not interested, of course their response is going to be, I can change. And when a man does it to a woman, she is going to be willing to change because you like them. So it's not even about gender. It's just like, sometimes you're the rejector and sometimes you're the rejectee, right? It happens. That's life. But the point is, when you're in the position of the rejector, like, keep it above board, cut it, let them know, and then keep it pushing. Like, and as far as the explanation, I'm like, I probably wouldn't even bother. Like, just be like, it's not happening and let it go. But I really do feel like this particular conversation doesn't have anything to do with gender because we've all been there on both sides and we all know how we act in each position. And that's why, well, I'm gay. She's going to call me gay. So now I can't do the upstanding thing in that position.
All right.
I'm glad Amber's back today. She's brought up.
All right. So the moral of the story is every heart does not break evenly. Today's footnote, I didn't even get the QTips in because we was going, but today's footnote is, just so we started from the beginning to the end, experiences are subjective. We gotta remember that. So guess what? You can't think for someone else. They can't think for you. The way that they think is just that, the way that they're thinking, that's their problem. And the way that you think is the way that you think, and that is a you problem. Today's topic was Untold Truths. So lovely people, just remember this. Just because you don't know it does not mean it isn't true. Or what somebody else is saying isn't a lie. They just got there first. All right, lovely people, that is my time. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. I love you for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And it's not down there. But anyway, it's all at Shop Talk with Mel. You can listen to us and listen to this show later on and all the other ones that you may have missed on any podcast platform because we are there. All at Shop Talk with Mel. Keep sending in your Shop Talk question of the week at shoptalkwithmel@yahoo.com or inbox and all that other good stuff. Your girl will get back with you. All right. Find you, embrace you, most importantly, always love you. Until next week, people. 1, 2, 3. Shop Talk. We need some clarity. Hold on 1 second. All right, 1, 2, 3. Shop Talk.
See, Amber, that's how it's done, Amber.
You're also funny. That's because of the static. I love you guys for listening. Peace.
That Android.